Hello viewers, join Pistos on YouTube.
My name is Dr. Goma Regina Emmanuel. I'm a staff of Abanikoku Federal College of Education. I'm from Ikeduru, married to Gerard Emmanuel from Nnekede, Owerri West, local government area of Imo State.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mrs. Stella Ijoma Agumano.
Okay, this is Pistos TV. This is a program where we talk about marriage, families, and affairs and all that. Madam, please, can you tell us more? Why issues in marriage?
Well, there are so many factors that causes problem in marriages. There are a whole lot of them. There is a poor communication system between couples. There is also lack of funds. Lack of funds in marriages also contributes to its failure. And then lack of intimacy also between couples also leads to breakdown in marriages. Then lack of trust also is a factor that makes one of marriages break down. Then unnecessary comparison between couples also leads to breakdown in marriages.
Okay, thank you, madam. We have a couple of questions that we want to ask you. Okay. So please, madam, why do we have argument over small things in marriage?
Well, the reason why there is arguments over non-issues in marriage is due to lack of understanding and trust. When you don't trust your partner to do the right thing, then you see yourself trying to argue with him or her, whatever suggestion he or she brings, and because your minds are not working together. Another thing is, a superiority complex. Most times the men tend to say because they are superior to the woman, then you now see them trying to, cancel the woman's idea, even though it could be right. So it might not be anything, but you see them trying to argue so that it will not look as if it is the woman that brought the idea. Sometimes also the woman might be having that superiority complex. You see her trying to, step on the man, trying to be autocratic in her marriage. And if her husband brings up any idea, you see her trying to, bring the idea, cancel it or throw it off the window to say that idea is not good. But in the end, she goes back to, restructure that same idea and still bring it to the house. So that is.
Okay. Lots of couples argue more in marriages because they do not understand themselves. That is where they have the communication problem. Because I believe that couples who understand themselves well, who know how to pass informations to one another, will not have issues in their marriages. For instance, when my husband offends me as a married woman, the only way to get to the root of the matter is to go to him and sort it out one on one.
Thank you. Madam, one other question that we have here. What are the 4 things that can break up a marriage?
Are you really sure it's 4? It might be more than 4, but at least let me go with 4. 4 things that can break up a marriage. 1 is lack of love. 2, when you start comparing yourself or comparing your partner with another person, whether the man or the woman. When you compare them with your side chick or your boyfriend or your sugar daddy, that kind of a thing, you see the marriage will start breaking up. Another thing is trust. When you don't trust your man to the point that when he tells you that he's going for an interview or going for a job hunt, going elsewhere, you don't trust him and you want to tell him, are you sure it's work you're going to? So when that trust is not there, the marriage will fall apart. Then the last I will try to chip in a little bit is the influence of family members. Influence of family members. Most times, family members tend to interfere in people's marriage or in their siblings' marriage, thereby trying to side with the man. If it is the woman, they will side with the woman, and that taking sides in marriage from family members try to pinch the other person, your partner, and it will get irritated and want to get to a point that the person will be choked and want to tell you that no, I'm tired of this, and before you say the marriage will start disintegrating.
Okay, question number 3. Madam, please, what makes marriage to last?
Wow. Love is an essential instrument in marriage. When a couple are in love with one another, there is no amount of pressure, there is no external influence that can break such union. For instance, a man may commit adultery outside his marriage. And when the wife finds out, because of the love you have for the man, it will be very easy for you to let go. But believe you me, where there is no love, you will use that, as an instrument or as an evidence against the man. And the marriage can crash because of that. So love is an instrument that holds marriage together.
Okay, thank you, madam. And one other question that we have here is who is more likely to be faithful in marriage?
Well, who is more likely to be faithful in marriage? It depends on individual. This question now depends on individual. The man can be faithful, the woman can be faithful. But it all depends on the kind of treatment being meted by the man to the woman and the kind of treatment being meted by the woman to the man. So you see, if the man is the stingy type, then there's the possibility that the woman might not be faithful because women like money. And they want their man to take care of them. And if the man is not able to, pets, every woman wants to be looked after. Every woman likes to be commented. So if your man is not like that, definitely if some other person out there should compliment her, then she's likely to, be unfaithful to the marriage. So also the man, if men also like to be complimented, asked, taken care of, how are you, have you eaten today? So if one lady out there decides to say, guy, have you eaten today? What did you eat in the morning? Have you eaten your breakfast? Drop whatever you're doing. Go and take your go and take your lunch. That kind of a thing. You will discover that the man will start having affinity towards that person that is caring for him. So if both parties are caring to each other, then both of them will not be unfaithful. But another thing that can make a woman or a man not to be faithful to her marriage is trust. When a woman trusts her man, usually the women trust the man with all their hearts. And once that trust is broken, maybe by them trying to discover that the man is having an affair or suspecting it, and that trust is broken, then you cannot get that trust back. And definitely you cannot, there's nothing you will not expect or see from that marriage. So the woman might be unfaithful. So in terms of who is more likely to be faithful, I can't say this or that. Anybody can decide not to be unfaithful, depending on the treatment being meted on him or her. So that's it.
All right. Initially, when God instituted the marriage, he said, a man shall leave his father and his mother and cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one. In marriage, third parties are not allowed. Once a third party comes in,
there is bound to be problem in that marriage. Number two, when you start comparing your husband to Mr. B out there, your marriage is also bound to break. Three, lack of trust also makes the marriage crash. Then four, unfaithfulness in marriage breaks the marriage.
Thank you so much, madam. And madam, another one is that what are the hardest years in marriage?
Well. Someone said once said the first 5 years is when a woman escapes the first 5 years, she's good to go. The 10th year, well, in respect to the man being unfaithful. 5, 10, 15, 20. From 25, the woman becomes the owner of the house. But from 5 to 20, the man is the owner of the house. But from 25, you discover that the woman will become the owner of the house, because by that time, whatever God has given to them in respect to procreation, those children must have grown, very well, and the man might not be able. If the man used to scold the woman before then, the man will not be able to do it again at 25. So that is when the woman now owns the house properly. I don't know if you're getting me. By that time, the woman, the man's strength and their mind will drop because of his children. And the woman will be controlling the house.
Okay, thank you so much, madam. Another question that we have. What makes a marriage strong?
One of the factors that I know as a married one that keeps a marriage going is prayer. And then a good communication system between partners also keeps marriage alive.
A man should leave his house, his mother and father, to meet with the woman, and that is the marriage we're talking about here. But in the actual sense of the African world, it is not like that. Rather, the woman leaves her house, her father, her mother, to meet her in-laws. Now, that's the Bible's aspect. Then the Bible also made us to know that a woman should be submissive. A woman should be submissive to her husband. As talking about the virtuous woman. But a lot of things has happened these days that we don't even have the virtuous woman again, because the society we are living in is trying to make turn everything upside down. But the Bible said a woman should be submissive. Submissive in the sense that she should be under her husband, that her husband should be her Lord. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you in our next episode.